Hello and welcome to your math class. My name is Leslie Smith and I will be your instructor this semester. And so this is just a personal welcome video. I'm going to tell you just a couple things that you need to make friends with this semester in order to be successful in this course. And then I'm going to introduce myself to you, and you're going to follow up with a discussion board post introducing yourself to me and your classmates. So first things first, there are several things that you need to make friends with this semester in order to be successful. Number one is me, okay? So you need to make friends with me. If you look on our Moodle page, there are multiple ways to contact me. So I have my email address, my office phone number. I have office hours on main campus. And my favorite way of communication is the Remind app. It's free. Please look at the information on Moodle and join the Remind app. It's like a texting app without sharing your personal phone number. So you can text me, I can text you, I can text the entire class. And so it's just a really good way to communicate in short little blurbs. We know that most people have their phones on them pretty much 24/7 this day and age. I'm not sitting on my email, and I'm certainly not sitting in my office waiting for the phone to ring. So I love the Remind app. But anyway, you want to find a good way for you to communicate with me if you need me. So pick the method that you prefer and we'll make friends. The second thing you need to make friends with is Moodle. This may be your first course with Richmond Community College, and if so, there's sort of a learning curve with Moodle as with anything else. If you're not familiar with Moodle, that is something that you need to make friends with. Moodle is where your grades will be posted for this class. So Moodle is crucial mainly for two things. It's where the course is. Every week I will post your assignments on Moodle. And then in addition to that, I will post your grades. If your class uses Hawks Learning, I will post the Hawks Learning assignments on Moodle, and then you will go to Hawks Learning and complete those assignments. But Moodle is where this course is housed. So Moodle is actually where all Richmond Community College courses are housed. So every course has a Moodle shell. If you're not familiar with Moodle, if you have problems with Moodle, let me know. Your Moodle login is the same as your email login. So if you can get into your email, you can get into Moodle and vice versa. The next thing you need to make friends with, as I just kind of mentioned, is Hawks. Hawks and I have had a love-hate relationship, to be perfectly honest. But when COVID hit, I guess that was spring of 2020, as you know, the world shut down and we went online exclusively there for a brief period of time. And I had to really jump on board and get my attitude right with Hawks. I had sort of resisted Hawks, even though we as a community college had been using it in our math courses. But until that time, when we were shut down and put online, I had not really embraced it. And since then, I have learned a lot. I have attended a lot of webinars with Hawks Learning. I have had one-on-one meetings with our representative and just different people throughout the Hawks system. And it's a good program. It is a really good software. And I feel like if you come into it with an attitude, like I had, to be honest, it's not going to work very well for you. So try to come into Hawks Learning with an open mind. When you watch this video, you probably don't even really know what I'm talking about, because I doubt you've set up your account at this point in time, because watching this video is the first thing I want you to do. But when we get into Hawks Learning, just try to open your mind, be receptive to the tools that they have, to the resources that they offer, to their teaching technique, to their questioning style. It is a little bit persnickety, but if you will fall in love with Hawks and make friends with them, your semester will go a lot more smoothly. And the last thing is each other. It is really hard to learn in isolation. I believe in working together. I believe in talking out, solutions, comparing answers to problems. And sometimes in these online and hybrid formats, that is hard to do. But I'm hoping there is some way through just different communication techniques we have in this class that you will find a way to connect with each other and make friends with some of your classmates. It is always good to have a person in that class that you can text, last minute, hey, did you turn that in? Or hey, I had a question on number 7, or what did she say about this? So if you could find somebody in this class to make friends with, that would be awesome. So 4 things you need to make friends with: me. My name is Leslie Smith, as I said, and I'm your instructor. More details coming about myself. Moodle, very important. Hawks, which is where the crux of our online course component will be. And then finally, try to make friends with your classmates. Let's move on to what you're going to discuss this week in the discussion board. So you're going to post on the discussion board 4 topics. I call them the 4 P's. The first topic is personal information. Second topic is professional information. Third is peculiar. And the fourth are positive things. And so I'm going to tell you 3 facts that fall into each of those 4 categories. That's 12 total things. And you are going to do the same this week on the discussion board. Let's start with personal. I've already told you my name. Miss Smith, Leslie Smith. You can call me whatever you want to, but Smith is the most common name in America. I will eventually know your name, so I want you to know mine as well. I am married to my high school sweetheart. This is my house behind me. This is pretty much where I make my videos, so this is a pretty standard setup. I live in Laurinburg, and I have 2 teenage children. I'm from Laurinburg. My husband's from Laurinburg. We have pretty much been here our whole lives, minus some college years. That pretty much sums it up for my personal information. Next is professional. I graduated from Scotland High School, and then I went to UNC Chapel Hill on a Teaching Fellow Scholarship. After Carolina, I taught 1 year at Cary High School. That's up in the Triangle of North Carolina. And then I came back to Laurinburg, and I taught at Scotland High School for 6 years. And then in 2005, I left Scotland when I had my first child. And I stayed at home for 10 years. I did some small things in the educational system throughout that period of time, just some part-time things, but I didn't work full-time for 10 years. In that time, I went to UNCP and got my master's in mathematics. So that's what allowed me to get this job. And then I am now employed with Richmond Community College as a full-time math instructor. And this has been a great job for me. It's a wonderful schedule. I'll teach a lot of dual enrollment classes, which I love because I had been a high school teacher. So the dual enrollment classes give me that kind of high school fix. And then I have traditional students, and some students are older than me. Some students are younger than me. It's just a great, I love it. I love the combination. Next is peculiar. And it never fails. Every semester I have people that leave this particular column blank because they say, well, I'm not peculiar. They think of peculiar in a negative context, and it's not. Peculiar is just something that is unusual or unique or something that stands out. So, for example, the fact that my last name is Smith, that is not peculiar. The fact that I have brown hair, that's not peculiar. Those things don't make me stand out. So I want you to tell me some things about yourself that are unique or special. And so I'll start first. I'm going to start with this. This is, well, number one, my drink of choice is Diet Mountain Dew in the can. So this is my, I won't even tell you how long I've been drinking this, probably college days. And this is a Yeti koozie. My dad gave me this. This is my, I would say this is probably one of my favorite gifts ever. He engraved on the bottom, it says, "For Leslie, love Dad, March 24th, 2015. And when he gave me this, he brought it to my house one night, my dad, and he had a cold Diet Mountain Dew in it. And I had never heard of Yeti. It was the first time I've ever heard of it. We all know, probably you've heard of it now. You can see the Yeti name at the bottom. But this is, it's a really bizarre thing, but for many reasons that I don't have time to tell you right now, this is one of my favorite gifts. So that's a little unusual. I have some health problems. I have a genetic lung disorder called alpha-1 antitrypsin. And because of that, I have some other lung issues. So I'm the type of person, it's similar to cystic fibrosis. If you've ever heard or known of anybody with cystic fibrosis, what I have is sort of in that vein. So I'll show you, I have a vest. That's the back, this is the front. You put this vest on, and I wear that twice a day, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, sometimes middle of the day if I'm not feeling good. And then I also have a breathing treatment that you do. This is like a nebulizer. You've probably seen asthmatics use something similar to this. Do this twice a day while I'm on my vest, and that helps clear my lungs out. But I do have a lot of lung issues, and it's an unusual disease. I have not had COVID by the grace of God. He's been so merciful to me. But I am the type of person that, because of my underlying conditions, you know, I'm grateful that I haven't had to experience that. One more peculiar fact. Okay, I'm a very clean and neat and tidy person. And so almost every day I Clorox wipe my bathrooms. Now I only have 2 bathrooms, to be honest, and they're small. But before I leave my house, that is just something I like to do. I take a Clorox wipe for the sink, Clorox wipe for the toilet, Clorox wipe for the floor. And something about that little process just makes me feel like I'm ready to go. Somebody told me one time you should always leave your house ready to show should a realtor come by. And my house is not on the market. I'm not trying to show it. Don't have any realtors coming, but that stuck with me. And so I try to, when I leave my house for the day, I try to have it tidy and put together. Okay, let's move on to, those are my peculiar facts. Let's move on to my positive facts. So here you're going to tell me 3 things, 3 positive things. The world is so burdened right now. And I don't know what you're going through, but it's always good to look at some positives, okay? And I'll be honest, that's hard for me. I'm like a glass half empty type person. So 3 positives. I am good at pot gardening. So what I mean by that is like growing things in pots. I'm not a farmer. I don't grow any vegetables, but I'm really good at growing potted flowers. And that's something that I do seasonally, and it's something that I take care of on a pretty daily basis. And mine are pretty. I have pretty pots, and that's something that I enjoy. It just brings me a little bright spot in my day. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. That's something that I like to do. I'm also good at organizing. I think that's a positive strength of mine. Recently, somebody asked me to go down to the church and organize the fellowship hall. So we pulled everything out of the cabinets, put it on the countertop, and then put it back in an organized fashion. And then I made labels for each door. So when you open the door, it tells you what should go in that cabinet. I am good at organizing. That is one of my strengths. And I think another positive thing about me, I think I'm a faithful person. I am a person of faith, but I'm also faithful to my family. I'm faithful to my children. I'm faithful to my husband. I'm faithful to my parents. I'm a faithful sister. I try to really stick with my people. And of course, none of us are perfect. I fail in that area, but I think overall, when I think about what people would say about me if I were to die, I think they would say that she was a faithful person. I try to give my best, and I try to follow through. And I have a lot of flaws. This is a positive section, so I won't go into my flaws. But I think I am a person that would be considered faithful in the end, and that is my prayer. So those are my 12 facts. Again, you're going to give 3 personal facts, 3 professional facts, 3 peculiar facts, and 3 positive facts. I may have given more than 12, so forgive me if I did. I have instructions on Moodle as to how this is to be posted on the discussion board, but overall, welcome to our class. If you need me, I'm fairly easy to find. And I hope you have a great semester. If you have any questions, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.